these are your two choices. You're either gonna go inside the pen right now.
We know we're on public property.
Yeah, or let me finish talking.
Sure.
The chimps are begging on their knees. Our milk water leaves. Depriving chimps of food and water.
I'm Jane Mitchell for Jane Unchained at world-famous Park Avenue, where, as you can see, there's a very noisy protest going on, and it concerns 66 chimps who are currently in Liberia. And these protesters say the New York Blood Center has abandoned those chimps.
We are at the home of Howard Milstein. He is the chair of the New York Blood Center, and he bears responsibility for the decision to abandon 66 chimpanzees on islands in Liberia with no food or water, leaving them to starve to death. We're here to remind him of his organization's promise to provide lifelong care to the chimps who they kidnapped from the wild, who they bred in captivity, who they experimented on for 30 years, who they made $500 million off of, and who they promised to provide with lifelong care. We're not going away until Mr. Milstein reinstates the funding for these chimpanzees. Public sidewalk.
No.
It's a public sidewalk.
No, if
we
you're
know our
protesting, you're gonna be inside the pen. That's where you're going to be.
As citizens, we know where
I'm
we're
not gonna
allowed to
play the
be.
game with you because you're here to protest. I'm not stupid, okay? You're gonna congregate inside the pen, and that's it.
If we want to walk up and down the street with our posters,
I'm not gonna play the game with you.
They do not want to arrest us today.
No, they don't.
Think about the horrific news coverage that would come out if they arrested us.
Money, greed, and Milstein lies. Hunger, thirst, chimpanzee cries.
From 1975 to 2005, the New York Blood Center conducted experiments on chimpanzees at a research center that they set up in Liberia, because Liberia had a population of wild chimps, and they knew that they could capture them and use them in their research. And that's what they did. The New York Blood Center went over there, they kidnapped chimpanzees from the jungle, they bred them in captivity, they held them prisoner for 30 years, they conducted experiments on them, and made $500 million off of the research.
Now, they claim the Liberian government owes these.
Look, what was written up in contracts 30 years ago doesn't change the fact that it's the Blood Center that went into that impoverished country, kidnapped those chimpanzees from the jungle, made them totally dependent on humans, bred them in captivity, conducted the experiments, and made all of the money off of them. They acknowledged that they are responsible for their care, and now they've changed their mind.
I'm here to speak up for those who were exploited, those who were taken from either from the wild or taken from their mother in some god-awful breeding facility, tested on, used for our use. We made millions of dollars off of them, and then they're left to die. I'm here to fight for justice.
You are accountable, Howard Milstein. We'll be back.